Now, CBS 42 presents The Road to the Final Four.
Wow. Shocker. David Lamb, A.J. Holiday here. We're still recovering from what happened last night because A.J., the Auburn Tigers have looked invincible this entire season, falling to Texas A&M, but they not only fell, they really never found their mojo at all.
Yeah, it was a really dominating effort from the Aggies, and it was kind of the perfect storm for them. You know, they had lost 4 in a row. Auburn's coming off winning the SEC regular season championship, so you never really know where they are mentally. And, man, the Aggies really gave it to them all night. They were the more tough team, the more gritty team, and all night it just seemed like they wanted it more than Auburn.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things we touched on when we got together Monday, and I know Bruce Pearl, no coach will ever admit this, but Auburn has done all they can do in the regular season. Denver Jones, I believe, was out, so they rested him. Don't know the degree of his injury. Could he have played? And is this Bruce Pearl just kind of giving his, one of his studs a rest? That kind of, I do think it does make you kind of question whether there were some other motivations like that to give him a rest. Had they needed him, and really this game meant something, maybe that starting lineup would have looked different.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think the biggest thing was, I think Tahad Pettiford had a great game offensively, but there was times where it felt like the ball just kind of stuck too much, and it wasn't really too much ball movement involved. And I think, the biggest thing in that game last night was the offensive rebounds, man. Aggies 41-25, 24-9 on the offensive glass. Like, they just wanted it more than them.
Yeah, and that, that work ethic is a part of the culture at Auburn and what has led them. So a surprising result there, a bit of a shock, I think, to everyone. But Texas A&M is a good team. Auburn's number one, and they've been unbeatable. But Texas A&M has been a solid bunch. They're really well coached. So it's not like Auburn lost to a team that's terrible. A&M's a good ball club.
Right. I think the 4 losses in a row really had people fooled. End of the day, this was a team that maybe a couple weeks ago before their losing streak was on the 2-seed line. So they were never a bad team. Buzz Williams has his team always ready to go. They're very physical. They cause you fits on the defensive side, and they get up in your chest, man, and they make it hard for you. Alabama played them, and they only beat them by 4, and Wade Taylor didn't play. So this is a legit team.
Yeah, they're a gritty bunch. Auburn, the chance to regroup, return to Auburn, Neville Arena on Saturday, senior day. A lot of seniors going to be saying goodbye. A game that's going to mean a lot against your arch rival. They're going to take on Alabama. Feel certain Auburn will regroup for that one and be laser focused. Speaking of the Tide, Bama, what a huge game tonight against the Florida Gators. What do you feel like? Where do you think Bama's heads are at after that crushing loss to Tennessee this past weekend?
Yeah, I think they're going to be extremely motivated tonight. Senior night, last game at Coleman Coliseum. I think you're going to see some guys that really just want to go out the right way. Mark Sears, I expect him to be Mark Sears. I think the biggest thing is you got to get Grant Nelson going. It's been a slow stretch of games for him. And if Alabama wants to make a deep run, you're going to need that Grant Nelson that came through in the NCAA tournament last year for them.
And Ariel Schaefer did some great coverage of that, a great piece and interview she did with Chris Youngblood, his final game, Grant's final game, Mark Sears' final game. So those games do mean something. The fact that it also happens to be against the 5th-ranked team in the nation, I think Bama knows this game means something for many reasons. So I'm with you. I do expect the Tide to show up, but Florida's a really good team.
For sure. They're a Final Four team without a doubt. They can beat you in multiple ways. They can shoot the 3-ball just like Alabama. They have great length. They have a lot of veterans on their team. So, if Alabama comes in still hanging their head on that loss to Tennessee, it's going to be a rude awakening for them because the Gators can play.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. 6 o'clock tonight is tip-off for that one, and then the Bama heads to Auburn to wrap up the season. What a way to wrap up the season. It's going to be fun. And then SEC tournament time. So a lot of basketball left to be played for sure. Going to be fun to watch Bama and the Gators tonight. All right, AJ. Love talking basketball.
For sure. Every time, man.
Yeah, good stuff. AJ Holiday, I'm David Lamb. Appreciate you being with us here on the road to the Final Four.